will I be buying the new redesigned Toyota Tacoma? Let's talk about it. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Just a quick little takeoff with the new exhaust there. Gotta say, digging the new exhaust. I love the sound. But this video is not about new exhausts. It's about buying the new Toyota Tacoma, the redesigned Toyota Tacoma. Before we get into it, if you haven't before, maybe you've been hanging out, just haven't, click that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So, will I buy or will I be buying the new redesigned Toyota Tacoma? The short answer is yes, of course. I mean, I'm a Toyota Tacoma enthusiast. I have this channel. It's what I do for a living. So yeah, I mean, I am going to be buying the new redesigned Toyota Tacoma. I have some reservations about it, and I'm not sure about the timing on it. You know, will I be buying it right away? Should I wait a while? Should we let them work out the bugs and stuff before I do? Well, those are all questions that I'm just going to ignore. But I am going to go ahead and pick one up. Now, timing on it is going to be interesting because I'm looking at what's going on with the new Toyota Tundra. And of course, when that truck came out, there's a big rush. All the enthusiasts want to get it, and it created a shortage. You couldn't put your hands on one. And then we have the aftermarket adjustments because, you know, the dealerships have to take advantage of the newness of the truck. My camera's bouncing around. Of the newness of the truck and sock it to us and make as much money as they can. And I understand that. It's a free market. You do what you can, and as long as you can get it, why wouldn't you? They are in business to make money after all. So I am not going to be paying a market adjustment or a new premium, whatever you want to call it, for the new Toyota Tacoma. I think it's absurd. It's like throwing money in the trash. You know, I equate it to wait, don't buy it right away until the premiums go away, and then buy it and take that $5,000 or $10,000 on that day and throw it in the garbage, because it's the same thing. That's money you're never going to get back, and there's no reason to jump on it right away unless, you know, maybe your current Tacoma has had it, it just can't last any longer, and you've got to get a new one no matter what. But let's face it, how often does that happen, and how much money can you spend to fix that Toyota Tacoma until the new one lowers in price? So no, I'm not going to be doing that. Another thing to consider is the availability of particular trim lines. You know, when they came out with the Tundra, you could only get a few different models or versions of it, trim lines of it. Now, it's still that way. I don't believe you can still go anywhere and pick out exactly what you want. Now, that doesn't mean you can't order. You can order, but then you're waiting for months, potentially. I waited 5 months to get my normal production manual transmission Toyota Tacoma. So I really don't want to do that again. So that kind of leaves you open to allocation. You know, each dealer gets a certain number of Tacomas every month or whatever the cycle is, and you can go out, put some money down on one and grab it. Problem is, when they're first out and they're brand new, you're still going to have to deal with that market adjustment or premium, even if you're pulling one out of allocation. Again, something I am not willing to do. Now, the big thing to consider, if you're just a normal buyer, in other words, you don't have a business that you use the Tacoma for, much like this YouTube channel, well, is the dependability of it. You know, there have been issues with the new Tundra. Now, I understand that. I'm not completely dogging Toyota for it. I do think that they had ample time to do testing, much as they have for or will have had for the Toyota Tacoma. So I think it should be pretty much spot on when they put it out, but you know that's not the way it's going to be. In reality, these are new systems. the people that are putting them together, assembling them, are not familiar with them, and there are going to be issues in the beginning. So it's probably a wise decision to wait, to not go out and jump on the brand new redesigned Toyota Tacoma right away. Give it a few months, maybe even give it a year. Let everybody else out there be the test dummies. Let's face it, that's what we are. The test dummies for it, so that Toyota can solve all of the early production issues that you know are going to arise. Get a truck that's perfected, if you will. And that's what the process is when something is brand new. It takes a while for the manufacturer, in this case Toyota, to perfect it. They have to see what problems arise in the real world, because you know there are going to be things that they can't account for. You know, there are things that we do with the truck sometimes that it really wasn't meant to be done. You ever seen one of those videos where somebody's using a truck to pull out a tree stump? You know, trucks really aren't tree stump removal tools, but they'll hook their truck up, they'll tie something to the back bumper, and they'll rip a tree out of the ground and rip the back bumper, or maybe even worse, off of the truck. I've seen it a few times, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You know, Toyota really can't, and that's an extreme, but Toyota really can't account for everything that we do with our trucks. So until we get them in our hands and do those things to them, whatever they might be, Toyota won't be able to solve that problem. So I would suggest waiting. I would wait, again, probably at least a year or so, if you can, to make sure that any bugs or anything like that are worked out, so that you don't have to be the guinea pig with the new truck. Now, as far as getting one for fuel economy or more power or any of that kind of stuff, I don't look for that to happen. You know, with the new Tundra, they put out all these numbers about fuel economy and that it's equal to or more powerful than the existing naturally aspirated V8. I would say that in perfect testing conditions, yeah, that's true. But when do we drive in perfect conditions? You know, we're not always driving in straight lines with no wind and no hills and perfect humidity and just the right temperatures. So it's not going to equal what they put out, and we're finding that with the new Tundra. The fuel economy is lower because we don't drive in perfect conditions, and it's going to be the same thing with the Toyota Tacoma. So if you're going into one thinking that you're going to get all this phenomenal new stuff when it comes to power and fuel economy, I would say you're probably going to be disappointed. We shall see. Anyway, the short answer in the beginning was yes, I will be buying the new Toyota Tacoma. Should the normal buyer buy the new Tacoma? I would say give it a wait and see how things work out. Leave a comment. Let me know. Do you have plans to run out and buy that redesigned Toyota Tacoma just as soon as you can? Are you willing to pay a premium for it? I'd be curious to know. Also, again, if you didn't in the beginning, now's the time. Smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have two, that's deux if you're French, additional channels. RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator, and RobMotive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.